to deal with in county government. But I am very grateful to be here today at the historic Lancaster Opera House, one of the only old school type of opera houses that was constructed in the United States in the 19th century that exists in our community, as we're here to talk about a cultural capital grant that was provided by Erie County to the Opera House Association to do work associated with the HVAC system here. I'm pleased to be joined by our Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning, Dan Castle, who's in the back, but our Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning, Thomas Baines, who also is the kind of the individual who oversees the cultural programming that we do, or I should say support of cultural organizations, both on an operating and on a capital basis. And I'm also pleased to be joined by David Bondrow of the Lancaster Opera House, and we also have Supervisor Leary here from the town of Lancaster. I thank him for being here. A few years ago, coming out of COVID, we realized that we needed to help organizations in our community. And so we created a storefront revitalization grant program to help small businesses coming out of COVID attract more business by improving their storefronts, by making it nicer for them for people to see what they actually had to offer. And we also realized that our cultural organizations were hurting and that they were suffering coming out of COVID after having lost a number of years of revenue from not being able to put on productions. And the county has always helped our cultural organizations as best as we can with regards to operating assistance. But we also realized that for many of these organizations, especially smaller to mid-sized ones, they really needed help on capital projects. Annually, Erie County borrows over $40 to $50 million of money a year, but we generally only help when it comes to cultural organizations, the largest organizations. Like we'll do a big project for the Buffalo Zoo or a facility that we own, the Botanical Gardens. But we weren't really helping out the small and medium-sized organizations, often which had some significant needs with regards to their facilities. And so we created a cultural capital grant program in which we were telling the smaller and medium-sized organizations, not the larger ones, if you have capital needs, we want to find out about them and we want to help you because we know one of the great things about the quality of life in our community are the cultural and arts organizations that we have. And the Lancaster Opera House is a perfect example of it. It is an arts and cultural organization because of the type of productions and other things that go on here. We didn't know exactly how many organizations were going to respond. A lot did. And what we found out is there were needs for capital purposes across the board, whether it was new roofs, new windows, new HVAC like was done here, new systems associated with just basic plumbing and heating, new bathrooms. Some of the organizations and some of their buildings date back many, many decades, and they really hadn't been updated in a long time. So what we ended up finding out is there was a lot of need in the community. And we ended up doing 2 rounds of cultural capital grant programs, one of which was right here, of course, at the Lancaster Opera House, where we provided approximately $299,000 to update and basically create a modern HVAC system. You can imagine a building that dates back to the late 1890s does not have modern heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, or did not. But now, through the Cultural Capital Grant Program that we were able to provide, and the grant we provided to the Lancaster Opera House organization, they do have a modern HVAC system. And that's great, because if you're here for a show during the winter, you don't want to be cold. And if you're here in the summer, you don't want to be hot, because these buildings generally, as you can see, their HVAC system was high ceilings and ceiling fans. So it could get pretty hot in here at times, too. So on behalf of the people of Erie County, we were very pleased to be able to offer this cultural capital grant to the Lancaster Opera House to help ensure the continuation of not only a great organization, but this incredible building, this incredible theater, and continues its use for many, many decades to come. So I want to thank David and his team, the board of directors, for their continued work and investment in the Opera House organization. And we in Erie County were very proud and honored to be able to contribute a little less than $300,000 to ensure the future of this facility for many, many decades to come. So congratulations and thank you. Say a few words. Thank you.
you spoke very eloquently about the situation. Yes, the Opera House, we've been producing shows since 1980, and we've been going strong, and then the pandemic hit, and like all the other arts organizations, we were worried that we would maybe never continue. And then we did, and then we found that we could not continue without keeping the audience comfortable. And right at that time, due to this wonderful cultural capital grant and then the support from the town of Lancaster, we were able to get the project done, and now we can have shows all year round for everybody, and we're thrilled.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. We've been all over the county in the last few months talking about these cultural capital grants, and what we hear across the board is thank you for the contributions, whether it's down in the town of Sardinia at the Sardinia Historical Center, town of Concord, and this village of Springville with regards to the Arts Center, here at the Opera House, further in Lancaster, right at the northern part of Lancaster with the Hull House. But what we're really trying to do is let the public know that we have an incredible community. And once you lose these assets, you never get them back. And that's why we need to continue to invest in them. And the person who's overseeing this program for the last few years and has done a great job is our Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Environment and Planning, Thomas Baines. And we wish you to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Again, my name is Thomas Baines, Deputy Commissioner of Planning and Economic Development for Erie County. I'd just like to say that it has certainly been a pleasure working with David and his team. When we came to visit the location for the first time, David explained how in this building it gets blazing hot and it's on the second floor, and that the critical thing that they were looking to do was make sure that this facility was available to the community for more than just the baseline shows that they present, but to be available for community groups to convene, for folks to have weddings in this beautiful location, and something as simple but as significant as having a cool location to be in makes all the difference for folks to want to come from the outside on the inside, especially when it's really warm outside or when it's really cold outside. I'd like to acknowledge the project manager for this project, who is Tim German, who couldn't be here with us today, but we thank him for all of his efforts. And we just thank you for your team for being, just a great partner to get this work done. And kudos to you for this establishment, keeping it alive and well in this community. And we look forward to many great things coming out of the Lancaster Opera House.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Some little news. One great thing that's going to be happening in the Lancaster Opera House on the 22nd. I'll be holding a town hall meeting here. We held a town hall meeting not too long ago in the town of Concord. We'll be holding a town hall meeting here in the town of Lancaster. The town of Lancaster is close to my heart, for those of you who don't know. My mother grew up here, graduated Lancaster High School. I won't say what year because she'd kill me if I did. But also my grandparents lived on Seneca Place, 237 Seneca Place, for as long as I remember until they passed away. And I remember when that area behind Seneca Place was nothing but empty fields for miles and miles. And of course now it's divisions, subdivisions after subdivisions. So I've known Lancaster a long time. We're very proud to have done the investments that we have in the town and the village, some which more will be coming in the future. And you can learn a little bit more about the investments that we made in county government, countywide, in the town and the village by attending my town hall meeting on April 22nd at 7 p.m. here. So we certainly look forward to having a good crowd. And with that, if there's any questions from the members of the media, we'll open it up to them. Are there any questions? Hearing none, thank you. That's the way I like the media questions.